Hello everyone, it's Mike Lister from the City of Anaheim with a video update on coronavirus testing. So for some time now at Anaheim Convention Center and right here at Anaheim City Hall, we have been offering nasal swab testing. Now, we are going to be expanding testing across our city starting next week. So we will be bringing kiosk walk-up testing, just like right here behind me at City Hall, to Brookhurst Community Center and to the East Anaheim Gymnasium. It is just one more way that our residents can get tested fairly close to their homes if you happen to live near Brookhurst or if you happen to live near the East Anaheim Gymnasium. And of course, testing will continue here at City Hall and at the Anaheim Convention Center. Now, we are going to show you how to actually get tested. We're going to give you some pro tips and show you how to make it as easy as possible, because right now demand for testing is very high. It can be hard to get appointments and you can wait for some time just to get tested. So we're going to offer you some tips on how to make it as easy as possible, and we're going to show you how to actually do the test yourself. The first step in getting tested is getting an appointment. Now, our sites will take walk-ups, but you may end up waiting even longer as clinicians take appointments first before walk-ins. So it's always best to have an appointment. That way, all of your information is in the system. It will speed your time through testing. So one way to do it is to go to anaheim.net/testing. That's a very easy to remember website where you will be able to get all sorts of information about testing. It goes over our testing sites, including the Convention Center, our neighborhood testing with Latino Health Access, and our walk-up clinics, including City Hall, Brookhurst Community Center, and the East Anaheim Gymnasium. As you can see, there are links to click on to make appointments for any of those sites. And also down here is a very large graphic which you could click on as well to make an appointment. And when you do, this is what you see. So this is the actual appointment setting site, and you want to go ahead and click Make an Appointment Now. You will go through a series of questions, and this one in particular is asking about symptoms. Now, to ensure that you get through to make an appointment, there's a couple of ways to do that. One is if you have had exposure to someone who has tested positive. There's a place for you to click on that. If you are an essential worker, clicking on that will get you through as well. But if you do not meet either of those categories, you do want to indicate some sort of symptoms. And as you can see from here, symptoms can be as basic as fatigue or headache. And the reason that those are on there is that we want to be able to catch infections as early as possible. And it could be that fatigue and headache might be some of the earliest indicators. So as appropriate, go ahead and click on symptoms if that matches your situation. I'm going to go ahead and click none of the above for the purpose of today. And then it asks me, have I been in contact with someone who has tested positive? I'm going to click no, but of course, if you have, you want to go ahead and click yes. Here you are being asked about your healthcare provider. Do you have a primary doctor, and have you contacted them for a test? You are more than welcome to click on yes, no, whatever the case may be for you, but a pro tip is just go ahead and click on no, I don't, just to keep yourself moving through this process. You will encounter a couple of screens asking whether or not you live in or work in what's known as a congregate facility. That could be a skilled nursing facility, a homeless shelter, transitional housing. If that applies to you, then you certainly want to indicate yes, but for many folks the answer will be none of the above, so we keep moving through. Here's a question, are you an essential worker? And there is a list of categories here, and in my particular particular case, I am public employee, and so I go ahead and hit save and continue. Now I go ahead and enter an email address where I will get a scheduling link. So you go ahead and enter your email address, click on Send Scheduling Link. Now from there, what you are looking for is to get a follow-up email where you will put in your insurance information, because while there is no cost to you for this test, insurers will be billed and are required under federal law to pay for testing without any out-of-pocket cost for the person being tested. And now if you do not have insurance, there is also no cost, and federal funding also pays the cost of that as well. So once you put in all that information, what you want to get to is this. This is your appointment number up at the top, beginning with FSS and APT for appointment, and then some sort of a series of numbers after that. This is what you want, and this is what you will present when you get to be at City Hall, the Anaheim Convention Center, or one of our community centers. Now, another pro tip: it can be hard to find appointments on a given day or a given time. While we encourage everybody to get an appointment for a set date and to show up at that particular time, if you absolutely need to, you can make an appointment at any location at any time and get this appointment number, and then show up on a different day or a different time at a location such as City Hall. So again, it doesn't matter exactly the day and time your appointment is set for, though we do want you to try and meet an appointment that you set up for. But if you absolutely need to, all you need is this number here to get into the system and then to show up at a testing site. That will expedite your experience at a testing site as opposed to just simply walking up, which will take considerably more time to register you into the system. So really, that's your magic number right there for an appointment. When it comes time to actually get tested, we want to walk you through what that is like, and we also want to give you some tips to make it easy on yourself to minimize the wait time. So beforehand, a good pro tip is to have all your information ready. On this piece of paper, because I do get tested regularly often as an essential worker, I just have this ready. It has my appointment number at the top, it has my insurance information, it has my driver's license, and also in my case my city ID. I can literally just hold this up to the window for the person checking me in, and at one glance it is everything they need to check me in. So it will really speed your time through the line and help you get tested quicker. So once you get checked in, you will get a testing kit, and it looks exactly like this. Now I'm going to go through the actual testing process for you now. So in case you haven't done this before, you'll have a good idea of what to expect. And then if you are doing it for a second, third, or subsequent time, it's just a good reminder of how to easily do it. Now, if you do carry hand sanitizer with you, which is always a great idea, go ahead and use it before this next step, which is what I've done here. So what you want to do is open up the envelope, and you're looking for the largest piece, which is the swab. And so the swab is here. And just like a Band-Aid that you might have around your house, it opens from the top and it splits open just like that. Now, I'm going to try and do that as easily as possible here. Just like a Band-Aid package, it splits open just like this. And now what you want to do is get it open enough where you can grab the end of the swab and then go ahead and take it out. Now you can see the top of the swab right there. Now here is the fun part. So what's going to happen is that you insert it into your nostrils. You're going to swirl 10 times on each nostril. Now this is somewhat unnatural. We're not used to doing this. So some advice is just take a deep breath. You do want to go as deep as you can to what's comfortable for you. And then you want to go ahead and begin the swirling process. So I'm going to go ahead and do it now, and you're going to see exactly how it's done. You want to start by tilting your head back, and I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to go ahead and do the actual test. So I'm going to tilt my head back, I'm going to take a deep breath, and I'm going to go ahead and insert the swab. I'm going to go in as far as I can. It may tickle, and I'm going to start swirling. I'm going to count to about 10, and then I'm going to pull it out. It is natural for your eyes to water. You may even sneeze. Now, if you feel a sneeze coming on, please put your mask back on or do your best to cover your sneeze. Your eyes will water, and if they do, that means you have done it right. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the next one. I start by putting my head back and inserting, swirling. Now, I want to keep it held upright, and now I want to go in and I want to get the vial that is in the baggie here. So I'm going to take this out and always keep it upright. There is liquid at the bottom of the vial. So that's why it's critical you always keep it upright. Now you're handling several things at once, but basically you are just going to get this. It can be a little bit tough to open. Make sure you hold on to the cap, make sure you keep the vial upright. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take the swab, and right about midway here, there is a break point on the swab. So you take the swab portion first and you drop it into the vial. Now about midway, you just do that and it breaks right in half. Now, then you're going to take the cap to the vial and you want to make sure to secure that tightly. From there, you want to go ahead and put the vial back into the baggie, and you're going to want to seal it. Now, the remainder of the swab and the package is now trash, and please make sure to dispose of that properly. And in just a second, we will go and drop this off, and away it will go to the lab. We will await results in about 48 to 72 hours. Sometimes you can get it before. But with the volume of testing that we are seeing, 48 to 72 hours is more likely. Now, while waiting is sometimes difficult, it's important to know that this is the best type of test you can take. It is the most accurate, and so the trade-off there is it does come with some lab processing time. Now, I'm going to go ahead and drop it into the bin, and we will be finished. Now, I have shown you how to test on your own, but please know when you test, there are clinicians here to assist you with every step of the way. Now, once you're done with the vial securely sealed in the baggie, you want to go ahead and go to this red bin right here and go ahead and place it right in there where it is going to go off to the lab for processing. So that is an overview of testing at our walk-up kiosk here at City Hall. We hope it is helpful as we get ready to launch walk-up kiosk testing at Brookhurst Community Center and the East Anaheim Gymnasium. Now, testing is more important than ever. We are seeing a surge in cases that is surpassing what we saw in the summer when we previously saw a major surge in cases. It is a serious situation that we face, and testing is so critical. And the reason why is if you test negative, that's great. It gives you some peace of mind. But remember, when you test negative, you will only test positive about 5 days after being infected or exposed. So if you're testing negative a day or two after you've encountered somebody who has tested positive, remember that that does not mean you are in the clear. So know how testing works. Now, in the case where somebody tests positive, of course we never want to see that, but if there is any good side to that, it is that that person knows they are positive. They will then go on to isolate for 10 to 14 days, depending on their conditions, their symptoms, and they will help stop spread throughout our community. Thankfully, the vast majority of people go on to recover very well, and many have just mild symptoms, but it is the most vulnerable in our community that we need to look out for. It is our loved ones, our grandparents, those with medical conditions. Those are who we really need to be concerned about, and testing is you doing your part. So thank you very much. Find out more information at anaheim.net/testing. And then for general coronavirus information, anaheim.net/coronavirus. Thank you, Anaheim.